How's it going, gang? Chris Card's back through the mail. Monday, 6 returns for you today on this last day of March 2025. First return, as you can see from the address label, from Richard Moran, a.k.a. Al. Al here signed an index card as well as a Whiz card as well as a 64 Topps. I think the Whiz cards were 1991, and you can see it was inscribed 63 and 64 Mets. The only 2 years he played in the big leagues. He got into 135 games during those 2 years for the Mets. Came over to New York in a late trade in December of 62. Tracy Stallard, Pumpsy Green, went to the Red Sox in exchange for Felix Manzanilla. Played for 9 seasons professionally before retiring after the end of the 1966 season. Al Moran, awesome return from him. Inscribed both cards as requested. And there's his information. Nice return. Way to kick this one off with some vintage. 5 more to go. Let's open them up and see who we have back. Return number 2. San Juan, Puerto Rico for our next return here. San Juan to be exact. Of course, it's only coming from San Juan. I think there is no other area on the island that has a postal service, at least the routing service that USPS uses. And we've got Ray Quinones. Ray Quinones here on an index card, as well as a smeared 89 upper deck card, as well as a high number card. 87 Topps came out beautifully, though, however. That looks good. That kind of bums me out. My set card got smeared up. Anyway, 4 years in the bigs, mainly as a shortstop. Spent pretty much his entire career as a Seattle Mariner. Although you see there on the traded card, he did end up on the Pittsburgh Pirates and played a little bit with them, as well as the Boston Red Sox. 1989 was his final year in the big leagues, not to be confused with Luis Quinones, who of course won a World Series with the Reds back in 1990. Went on to win a ring with the Yankees in 96 as he worked in the front office. Went on to pawn or sell at auction his World Series ring from 1996. So not a very sentimental guy, Mr. Ray Quinones. Glad to get these cards signed for my set, although quite frankly, the 89 Upper Deck card, I might try that one again. We'll see here. Stay tuned to future Through the Mail Monday episodes to see if I get another Ray Quinones autograph card. Let's move on, guys, to return number 3. Third return is going to be from Santa Ana, California, one of my favorite Santas down there in California, right up there with Santa Clarita. And we've got Mike Schooler. Mike Schooler here on an 89 upper deck, signed with his debut inscription of looks like June 10th, 1988. A few other cards signed by Mike Schooler, 92 Donruss, 90 score, and a 91 upper deck. Mike Schooler, who was drafted actually in the second round by the Mariners way back in 1985, got 6 years, was a Mariner, played for Texas Rangers at the end of his career, got into 17 games for the Rangers back in 93 before being released by them. He was actually the Seattle Mariners closer back in the day. In fact, his 1989, his first full season in the big leagues, he won the closer job and just finished behind Jeff Russell and Bobby Thigpen in saves for that year. Had some shoulder issues after that, lost his starting closing job to Norm Charlton, and that was pretty much the end of his career. A nice return for him. He is now a middle school gym teacher at several different schools down there in California. He bounced around a little bit, and that is who you are sending to right there as you see the address. Awesome return from Mike Schooler. Good to get other cards signed for my set. Let's move on, guys, to return number 4. And our next return here is from my neck of the woods, Portland, Oregon. Curious to see who this is. I do not remember sending locally, but I send out a lot of requests, so who knows. And we've got Eric Gunderson, former Portland State Viking. Let's see if he inscribed my 91 Upper Deck card. He did with his Major League Baseball debut inscription. He was a pitcher for 10 years in the bigs. Drafted out of Portland State back in 1987 by the Giants. Played for 6 teams in 10 years. Only got a handful of starts. Like I said, mostly a reliever. Played for Texas, Boston, the Mets, the Giants, Seattle, and Toronto. Another Mariner. I think that's our 4th straight Mariner in this week's Through the Mail Monday. Awesome return from Eric Gunderson. Pride of Portland State, now lives in Camas, Washington, which is kind of the Richie rich area of southern Washington there, right across the border from Portland, right near Vancouver. Nice return from Eric Gunderson, guys. Let's move on to return number 5. Our next return, our 5th return, no idea who this is from, no markings on it from the USPS, but we'll open it anyway. And, yeah, I guess Al Moran didn't play for the Mariners, so I guess we have a streak of 3 Mariners in a row, but not this time. We got some vintage here. Mariners didn't exist. The Pilots existed when this guy played, but not the Mariners. Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy, no relation to Daniel Murphy or any of the other Murphys who'd play Major League Baseball. Danny Murphy also signed the index card. Very nice. A tale of two careers for Mr. Murphy. Came up as a outfielder for the Cubs. Played for the Cubs from 60 to 62. Got into 117 games. Actually is the youngest Cubs player to ever hit a home run at 18 years and 3 weeks old. He then went into the minor leagues until 1966 when he converted to being a pitcher. Came back up and pitched for the White Sox in 69 and 70. Got 9 saves, 68 games during those 2 years with the White Sox, all as a reliever. As I said, sort of a Rich Ankiel of his time. Of course, Rich Ankiel had a much longer and productive career as both a hitter and a pitcher. Nice return from Danny Murphy, Delray Beach, Florida. Nice return from him. Let's move on, guys, now to our 6th and final return of the day. And once again, another mystery envelope. There is one of my stamps, which I recognize, but no stamps from the USPS. No markings on here from any of the facilities it passed through. And we've got Kevin Higgins on a Topps Gold card from 1994. I always get 93, 94 confused, but that's 94 for sure. 94 is not that great. 93 is a little bit better design. 93 is kind of a nice design. 94, kind of ugly, I think. Even the Stadium Club card there with the label maker font is actually also ugly. In fact, the coolest card here is his minor league card. Nice return from Kevin Higgins, who played for 1 year in 1993 with the Padres. Got into 71 games as a catcher, outfielder, first baseman, 13 RBIs, 221 batting average, and unfortunately no Major League Baseball home runs. Retired, I think, after the 1996 season. Kevin Higgins has been working with the UNLV baseball program since 2010. I think he's now the associate head coach, and I'm not actually quite sure what the associate head coach means as opposed to just the head coach, but he works for the UNLV Running Rebels and, of course, lives in Summerlin. Of course, I was just in Las Vegas, got back yesterday morning, actually, as I'm filming this on Sunday. A nice return from Kevin Higgins, and here is the haul for this week's Through the Mail Monday. Put it in the books, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Of course, filming this on Sunday. The Mets have off today. Of course, I think the Mets have won like 2 games in Houston in like 13 years. So, you know what? The Mets, and that included like the 1 win from the other day. So, as you guys saw, maybe I was in Las Vegas. I did place a nice little wager on the first game of the series, which, of course, the Mets not only didn't cover, but they didn't win. But they did cover game 2, but they lost game 3. So, there you guys go. I had a great time in Vegas at the International Pizza Expo. And good networking time for me and for my business and all that stuff. So that's it, gang. Second week of baseball incoming. Very excited to get the second week out of the way. I think the Mets are in Florida, and hopefully your teams are out there doing good. I'm doing great. Had a great week and some great returns here. Of course, we got another set update this Friday. Stay tuned for that as well. Of course, I did 80 on Upper Deck this previous Friday. Check that out. I will link that at the end of this episode. And what else is there to say, guys? Hope you guys liked the returns. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Hit that like button, subscribe as well. And that is it, my friends. Thanks for watching. See ya.